What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Game Changers Analyst Desk. You did just witness the end of Pearl 13-8 in favor of Complexity. But Wyatt, we talked about how, let's say, unorthodox Complexity's comp is. After what you saw now live in action, how do you think they did?
I thought it was excellent. The attack side was the struggle zone, and that was really to be expected on Pearl, given that it's such a great operator map and Keency is so prolific with that weapon. You could see the struggle with pushing them off literally any angle without a Sova, without a KO. But then when it went to defense, on rounds like this, where the Phoenix and the Neon could get aggressive together, you just saw it run over EG over and over and over again. EG really needed to get more rounds on their first half defense. They couldn't do it, and that just made it so easy for COL to seal the deal.
And, well, Complexity were able to pull out just some early rounds when we were all questioning the composition. So, Wyatt, how were they able to just get ahead so early despite kind of those weaknesses that we talked about, at least before they popped off?
Yeah, it was that second round that you just seen there, winning that winning that force, after EG took the pistol, just taking the momentum straight out of their hands and stealing it away. That was what catapulted them to actually getting to that early lead, and then 5 rounds was just enough with how good that comp is on defense. More than enough, honestly.
Yeah, and we really saw the change because of that comp. And first half versus second half stats for Raze, for Jazzykins. I think for Jazzy for a while there. I think deep into the first half, I saw she had 1 frag, and then as we moved over the second half, they were activated. Jazzy got the op in her hand, and just a really, really great close for them. And maybe that speaks to what we talked about is Lace's mental too, and what she brings to that team, and keeping them motivated, keeping them inspired as they're down, and they were certainly not out.
I know, Wyatt, you were teaching me about the jump spots of Neon with the op, and
Yeah.
it was fun to see just how entertaining that map was. Very run and gun, very unorthodox, but ultimately a W for Complexity at the end. But Sapphire, at least Kara on Astra was especially impactful this match.
Yeah, I think I was certainly surprised when I look at Kara's stats and it's like, oh, it's 12. Like I really thought it was double that because how many crucial, I think, rounds she had, how many clutch moments or potential clutch moments were there, and really just being a good anchor on the site too, allowing her team to rotate, staying alive for a long time. I think great credit to her for her mobility there, and a really good all-around performance from Complexity.
Yeah, it's not the quantity of kills sometimes. It'll be the quality and the impact, how important they are. But Wyatt, someone who was especially impactful, the person you were hyping up before this match, then continued to deliver Keency on the Jet.
Yeah, Keency still ended up being the statistical best player on the EG side, despite that attack half going completely awry. But on defense, you did get to see how great Keency is, especially with the operator. And against that comp, they were just able to have a field day. They were never being pushed off any angles, and you could just see how free some of the kills were. And other ones that weren't necessarily free, it was just getting crazy flick shots on jump peeking players trying to get info, that sort of thing. Still looking really impressive. Still going to be a massive factor in this match as we move to Lotus. That head-to-head against Jazzy, 2 of the really talented duelists in this scene. So we'll see if Keency can carry that on over, maybe step it up on the attack side where they faltered on Pearl. Though I don't expect this map Lotus to play out anywhere near the same way as Pearl did with that comp from COL.
I know, Heather, you and I were hope killers a bit, kind of looking at Lotus. Complexity look poised to finish out the series strong with just how good their stats are on Lotus.
I mean, it feels good. Everything points to that this should be a dominant Complexity performance on this. We saw them yesterday take down Shopify 13-9 on this map, and then despite losing to version 1, they still took them to overtime. And teams don't take version 1 to overtime. It doesn't happen. Complexity had a lot of really good like kind of force buys and did some really interesting things on that map. I loved what I saw from the team. I thought Jazzy's opping looked great on Lotus, and yeah, again, all signs point to that this should be a win for Complexity, but who knows? You know, EG has Kinsey.
Who knows? I mean, even KP said that this match could go either way. We haven't had a map 3 yet. It always starts after a turnaround on map 2. But Wyatt, looking at the duelist matchup between Jazzy and Kinsey, how are the approaches going to differ with Complexity liking Raze and EG with a Jet? Or at least usually.
The main difference is that EG are opting in for that Astra. Trying to combo off of the grab wells, the stuns is going to be a key element to how this comp plays out. We've seen Raze get good value on this map with plenty of teams run that. This is still, as far as the meta goes, a fairly open map. There's a lot that works here. Both of these comps almost considered standard, though a bit different. But one thing that you can expect to see surely from COL more than EG will be the opping. Despite Kinsey's talent with that, the Raze op is just not going to be as effective as keeping a rifle in their hands, whereas Jazzy has an opportunity now on defense to kind of take over the game with that if she so pleases.
Well, game 1 is done. Complexity on match point. We head over to Lotus, and it's out with the Vans and in with the Wyatt and Dryad. So thanks for all your work, Wyatt. Keep at it.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that. Gonna keep talking.
What's up, Wyatt?
Hi. Wow, that's crazy. Here I am again. That's wild. I don't know what happened to Vans, but he's gone. And I've taken his job. Hopefully I get twice the day rate now. But
yeah, that's how it works.
We'll have to see.
Nobody tells.
I'll have to check in on that one. I'll demand it at the very least, you know? It's only right that I take Van's day rate. Or at least half of it, you know? If I'm doing one of these games.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, anyhow, heading on to Lotus here. How are you feeling about this map 2?
I always like to see that head-to-head between what teams prefer to play in that duelist role. I've heard a lot of teams that really go for that Raze and that combination that you can have with the stars. You can have that combination with the team, especially when you see that aggression for that ace side. But I also like that standard Jet. So I'm excited to see how this duel between Kinsey and Jazzykins is going to play on this map. It's going to be a lot different compared to what we saw on that map number 1. And it is that chance and the last chance for EG to get ahead, to push us to the map number 3 and stay alive in this game changer. So it's a now or never situation for them.
Here.
Absolutely. An opportunity for both teams to make it the furthest in game changers that they ever have before. We're going to see that early fight into Rubble. EG taking that control. Viper wall's a factor and likely just going to wait for those to fizzle out and drop before they press forward towards the site. No real presence anywhere else. A turret to cover the flank, and it's going to be Stephanie hanging behind just a bit. Tap onto the orb as well. Still just biding their time, waiting out a peek to potentially come in.
And Jazzykins was playing very up close with the Sheriff. Has to back up. The Trailblazers is going to spot her right away, but Complexity still trying to fight up close.
Yeah, now scaling into the site. Kinsey trying to take point. Jazzy getting forced back into drop. The nade is perfect for Kinsey as well, forcing out into the angle. An array of guns already waiting for that swing from Jazzy. Claudia trying to make something happen, just taking an aggressive peek through the smoke now. Backing up, but the smoke drops. I don't think she was necessarily expecting that timing. Raze trying to come in to help. Not able to make the right click happen onto Power Pixel. Claiming that last kill, the spike for a little bit extra on top. Pistol round going the way of EG. They desperately needed that momentum.
Absolutely. For this map, for the stakes as we got to talk about, but it's still is going to be a Complexity that they don't go for that aggression towards a Rubble right away. They wait and they try to force EG to take the fight to them on that A side, and everybody is getting taken down after the trades. It turns into that 1v1, but it's still an EG that comes up on top. The question is, if they can keep this going, right? On that first map of Pearl, we saw both of the teams going for those forces, trying to make things 1-1 as early as possible. But this one is not going to be one of those. Only Sheriff in the hands of that Sky for the defense. Trying to see if there's any sort of aggression towards Mount.
Yeah, a lot of classics in the hands of COL. Really not investing anything into this round. Frankly, good news for EG, because on their side, they've actually opted for 3 Bulldogs and 2 Spectres. So Massive investment from them. They're going to want to hang on to as many weapons as they can, and they do look in a great position to do so. A site taken for free, spike plant with ease. It's just a matter of how they opt to set up these post plant positions to clean this round up.
For the defensive side, just he gamble in that left part of the map, and nobody to be spotted there early on. And EG that gets the info, plays around, goes all the way to the A side, and is able to play this post plant 5v5. And again, the rifles, not really on the side of complexity, not really having too many weapons to work with. They're just trying to put in some damage.
This could be a great way for EG to open this map after a crushing defeat on Pearl. Their own map pick, not able to get anything started on the second half. Coming into this map, absolutely cold, no momentum whatsoever. A great way to start it off here, and hopefully for them as well. You would imagine that allowing this map through the pool, COL's pick, that they've done that preparation, they've watched the VODs, they have an idea as to how they want to counter what COL have been doing to so much success here. 5 wins on this map this year, only 1 loss to V1 in overtime.
That's the thing, that is what is the scariest to me about complexity on this map of Lotus, is that when they played it against version 1, the best team that we have in Game Changers right now, it went all the way to overtime, and Mel actually made a tweet about it saying she was trying to get ahead, trying to close out the map against the IGLing the reads of complexity, and they were able to do so at the end, but it was a very difficult fight. So that is what gives us the feeling that complexity should be getting ahead, and that's why it also depends so much on EG, especially as they get to go onto this attacking side first. And for this round number 3, everybody in the B side.
And no weapons lost on the previous. EG with a serious chance to get ahead if they can convert this bonus. Scaling now into the site. Nade forces Kara into a bit of an awkward position, but EG kept at bay. Now going to try and make this fast rotate into C. Pressure onto Jazzy. Forced to dash off, give that angle up, and that's going to give EG opportunity to begin their attack on that C site. They're going to be able to claim all the space, get the spike down, and again, we're in a 5-on-5 situation for this retake. The real weaponry in the hands of COL. They're certainly going to go for it this time.
Yeah, you see the pivot from that B side towards C after the early info that side of EG tries to get. Jazzy is forced to back up, but waits for that fight. Kinsey tries to take it to her and still ends up being taken down.
And now beginning to actually scale into the site. Sholiana under pressure from multiple angles. Nothing to be done from her. EG trying to hold their positions back site, but that's just not going to be enough against an excellent retake from COL, covering all of their angles, watching the crossfires. Great team play on that one. The fundamentals certainly shining through in a situation like that.
Playing around as well with what EG thinks that C hold is gonna look like, right? Usually you have that Jet maybe playing around, trying to get some info towards that B side. Usually you have that Jet and the duelist on that A side in case there's some sort of aggression on the attacking side early on. But Jazzy, the only one in C and plays it so patiently, tries to get some picks. Doesn't work out, that's fine. Backs up, waits for the rest of the team, and then goes for the hit for that flawless to come through for complexity. Denying that bonus, and now this is the faster play that you want to see for EG.
Yeah, they're taking that fast approach towards Rebel again, how they open the map, and now they're going to continue it. Waiting for those walls to drop yet again. Ultimate's not really in play on their side. And it seems like Complexity want to maybe go for some kind of play off the baby door, try and send the paranoia through there. You can see Jazzy's ready to swing, and there it is. It's going to net them that first pick. What a spray transfer from Lace. Just unbelievable rifling. Always with so much finesse.
Lace is just insane. One of my favorite players to watch. And Lace has been trying to do this since that map number 1. We saw a lot of the spray transfers that were connecting. They were almost connecting. And the flash as well just makes it so much easier. Everybody almost down for EG, Stephanie and Thea. One's remaining in the spike right in the middle of the chaos. Everybody from Complexity
30
watching
seconds
this.
left.
EG gonna be steadfast in that room, holding for the save. There was an opportunity for their economy to get out of control early on here. They lost not one weapon on their second round. Just going to try and maintain, hopefully be able to bring something of significance in this upcoming round. But Complexity, after losing the pistol round, firmly taking the game back into their hands. And now really the economic advantage swinging massively in their favor as they're the team saving all their real rifles here into the next. And still, Ultimate's just not in play for EG at all.
Just saving everything for Complexity, nobody taken down, and you also get to see those Seekers get to live another round. It's so strong for Complexity, and I think you mentioned it. The fact that there's some chances, and there's been chances for the side of EG to get ahead, and that was the story of Pearl. There were chances, there were swing rounds that they could have won, but they always won the side of Complexity, and it's just now this Complexity squad having the understanding of how those rounds have to be played, how those reads end up working out their way. And again, they have to have your presence on C, the Killjoy util to deal with a Viper as well. Like you said, no ultimates, an uncomfortable buy as well for EG.
Yeah, this is around the Complexity. Have to feel that they're going to lock up. EG have been doing a good job so far taking early map control, but on this round, absolutely denied. Jazzy fighting forward, gonna give it up on her lonesome, not gonna throw her life away. Not feeling the necessity of actually finding a pick in a gun advantage round like this. You can see Kara just picking up the angle now, rotates coming towards this A side. EG drawing overlays as well. Dog gonna re-clear for that information, and that's actually gonna cause Complexity to re-rotate. You can see Claudia getting in position to lock down this C site with Raze.
Yeah.
Well-timed Molly, gonna keep EG at bay. Reposition again, giving enough time for these rotates to come through. The Seeker's getting that valuable information as well.
The spray too for Claudia gets one. The time running out, 20 seconds. Kinsey tries to fight back, but it's 3v4 still. And it's an EG that has gone all across the map from A to C to B as the last chance to stay alive. It's gonna be the Sky holding it down, allowing Complexity to get that third round. And everything is just a read. You saw the attempt early on for EG on that attacking side towards A. The Trailblazer doesn't spot them. That is the immediate rotation for the defense. We're holding it and waiting for them. And the pivot towards B as the time was running out, not possible. So 3 rounds in a row for Complexity.
Let's go.
And those ultimates for EG getting closer and closer, but really needing those. That seems like the chance to come back on the attacking side, and an operator is not going to make it any easier.
Yeah, Complexity with that jet, they have the option for the operator. Taking that aggressive line in B, gonna fall off. Still though, forcing out a bit of utility from EG. Certainly garnering their attention. EG, again, not really taking that early map control with the ease that they had in some of those initial rounds. Slowed down here, and because of that, they're gonna be forced to use even more utility to re-clear just close into A to take rubble. That could be a factor when it comes down to the actual site hit. What are they going to have to work with? Jazzy with an opportunity to take that advantage, take the 5-on-4, narrowly missing that crucial shot. Odin in the hands of Raze as well. Such an overpowered gun on this map that frankly you don't see enough.
Trying to get more with it, but the operator backs up, and also a Sky going down. It seems like this could be the round for EG. Spike's gonna get planted for the 4v3. And the Odin so strong, the spam as well, the patient for EG on that B side, trying to commit, even knowing where the operator was going to be. Making those picks easy as well for Kinsey.
Tons of money in the hands of COL, bountiful from how many weapons they were able to save on those previous rounds. They can actually afford to go for this in the 2v3. Even damage dealt has some weight, it has significance here. Nade's going to come through, Ray's going to be dealt with. We've seen Lace make magic happen already in this series, already on this map with that 3K. This one, ever more difficult. Choliana is just going to walk up through stairs, shoot her in the back, and end that round. Bringing things to a 3-3 scoreline early on. A nice back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth between the two after we got to see the pistol go the way of EG. And one that we talked about, absolutely needed to get that pistol, some momentum going on for them. But it seems like for EG, and especially with the history that Complexity has on this map, you're gonna need 2-3 rounds more to feel safe on that defensive side. And we gotta see if it's something that is doable, something that is possible. The lockdown for Stephanie gonna be available. I'll be trying to play for some of the orbs they can find across, but Complexity also very aggressive towards his extremities, expecting the aggression for the attacking side, and with that, EG working towards that B side again.
Yeah, they really are expecting some kind of play to come out of COL, but nothing too aggressive. They're going to maintain that control of Mound on C side, and with Jazzy there, the other players feeling comfortable to rotate elsewhere. Jazzy's going to have an opportunity again to maybe get this first pick. She did on the previous and wasn't able to convert. One here on this round would be significant though. Forced to back off from the dog and the recall smoke. Forced all the way back into sight, and still time to play with here for EG. They don't have to commit to the C hit. Stephanie in serious danger.
Bomb grenade out.
Jazzy with a beat on that positioning, but it's just going to force out this rotation. EG have no desire to run into that duelist star of Jazzy. They're working their way all the way towards A. Execute actually going to come in now with the raise ult. The showstopper is going to get that first pick. That's the Odin down. The site is opened up at this point. This Astra Wall, free access. Do these COL players dare try and take a risky peek here? Kara does have a flash. Sholiana is prepared for this. The flash is going to come through fully blinded, but body blocking. Claudia has no idea, runs out of ammo, not able to convert either kill. That is a mad situation Sholiana found herself in. And now it's down to this 1-on-4. Stephanie unable to do a damn thing. Sholiana had an opportunity to make magic happen, but not able to in the absolute chaos.
Start that shit here, mate.
You see 3 players in different parts of this Cosmic Divide trying to go for the swing. Spots one, tries to shoot, and it's just chaos as the side of EG thinks and tries to hold this post plan. But once again, Complexity comes up on top, and they play this very patiently too, to make that round go their way, and once again allowing this defensive side to get ahead. Now it feels like we've reached that point where Complexity has everything to work with, right? Jazzy's gonna continue having this operator, gonna have a Blade Storm as well.
Here.
And also Raze is gonna have that Odin that you talked about. It's so broken on this map.
An incredibly crucial round here for EG. They have forced everything into this. They have 2 significant ultimates to play with. Jazzy, first peak rather, able to get the pick that time, but Stephanie immediately with the trade rifle onto off, so significant. Kinsey gonna pick up the operator, which has just been an absolute star with in this series, bringing it into that 4-on-3 lockdown to create that barrier of safety for the spike to go down. Even gonna commit the pit to this just to lock this up. Frankly, it does seem worth it with the state of their economy. Door opening, but Kinsey has a watchful eye on any potential presence coming through there. And with this much time delayed, is there even a chance for COL to make this its retake happen? It certainly doesn't seem viable.
Yeah, it's so difficult. With the Viper Spit, it just makes it impossible. But still, Complexity wants to go for this. Give it an attempt. The flash doesn't spot anybody up close, and then as the time runs out, it seems like that's the call to back up. So you're not able to find any kills. And for EG, it took a lot into the round, but like you said, it just seemed like it was the necessary tools to stay on this game, stay on this half. At lockdown, just to create that space towards that C side after Jazzy was spotted pretty much alone there, and then that Viper Spit to follow and to secure that post plan. A lot of resources invested, but EG, they get away with the round.
Yeah, resources absolutely invested in spades, but frankly necessary from their point of view, and I could totally see why. If that round is lost, things certainly may have spiraled out of control. They would have immediately been back on the save.
Yeah.
We'll see if they try and fight for the early map control. They haven't on some of these previous rounds. It's really been COL. It's been Jazzy taking that space, and it is yet again. Look at this position with the operator so close up to the door. Guns trained, ready for that wall to drop, but they're not going to find a single enemy as the presence is towards C and what looks like a fairly free site take. Not really sure if Raze can contest this at all. Possibly caught in, gonna get one and slip away. That's about as good as it gets for that solo defender.
And that could be just enough. Raze needed the 1 kill to have this Viper spit, and a 5v4 retake is doable as the players for this defense come up, and the lockdown is available as well.
We'll see if that lockdown can be the catalyst for a round win. There's not going to be an opportunity to get this spike plant down from EG. They have to fully retreat, routed behind this. Actually, Keensey mummified by that Killjoy ultimate. Going to further slow things down. Jazzy's got the line on A. The Killjoy setup on B. Man disadvantage. How do EG find a way back into this round? Is it even possible at this point?
30 seconds left.
So, the fancy footwork from PowerPixel gonna dodge the operator at the very least, and it's drawing the rotates. These C players might be able to walk in and get a spike plant at the last second.
Depends on Claudia. The only one that stayed towards the C side gets that info, communicates it, everybody rotating back.
10 seconds left.
Claudia might be able to win this round right now with a spray transfer, and that's exactly what she does. So clean. The necessary play. And just the movement there, absolutely perfect. Circling around that site.
It's just PowerPixel, you see towards that A site. Creating that distraction, but it's still Claudia that stays for a little bit longer, and that was completely unexpected on the side of EG. Thought the site was clear, the spike was gonna get planted, and there was a chance, but once again denied by the defensive side.
Here.
And like you mentioned, with that kill that Raze got, now there's a Viper Spit that's gonna be available. That's even more map control. The complexity has been getting constantly, and now it's even safer to do so.
Wow, you don't see this often, but the pit is actually going to be dropped immediately just with this control on A. And look how much it covers. It even has a little bit towards door. Someone could be hiding in this pocket, so that's going to force a Boombot to clear it out. An attempt to go through tree, Raze is stunned, capitalized on by Keensey. Lovely play off the utility there, but still two defensive players entrenched in this area. Carr has been excellent with the crosshair placement in this series so far, excellent with the taps. A couple trades back and forth. Things gonna slow down as EG reevaluate. They know they don't need to rush this now that they've got that 4-on-3 scenario. And it looks like COL want to make a play to win this. The flash out of the smoke catches so many players. You could see it. You could see that that could have been the moment to turn the round on its head.
You see everybody outside of that flash, the flash that comes through. It gets everybody, but still that spike planted on that B side in a 1v3 with the retake operator. It should be the round of EG.
With how back and forth this half has been, Jazzy might just feel like going for this. Certainly not a lack of income. You have to be joking. They've lined up. They wanted to high-low for the easy kill, but they get as punished as you could be in that situation. PowerPixel now in the one-on-one. Forced to peek because of Jazzy's tap. The one-way smoke. So nice here. A tap again. PowerPixel is going to have to swing this.
Nothing.
Wow, so patient. Drawing out further taps. Knowing that Jazzy has no time. Knowing she'd have to stick. The confidence from that Sky to not peek off that initial tap. Going down to the wire. Knowing the timing perfectly.
Yeah.
Really well played in a clutch that certainly didn't even need to happen.
That was almost just a disaster for EG. The collab gets 2 for Jazzy, and that one more wasn't really sure where it was going to be located, towards Heaven, or was it going to be towards Link. And PowerPixel, like you said, just handles it, knows how to handle it perfectly right at the end, goes for the swing only when they need to, and make things once again even 5-5 between the two. Jazzy wanting to go aggressive on that B side again. They tried doing this before though.
Almost severely punished by that combo of the stun and the nade. That's exactly why EG are running those two agents, the Aster and Raze in tandem. We've seen for genuinely years at this point how effective that duo can be.
Yeah.
Jazzy almost getting fully caught. Gonna post up on a bit more passive of an angle. Surely PowerPixel, if they want to commit to B, gonna get forced off by their dog. Lace holding. Actually, with this double operator setup, I didn't even notice it until that moment. That's fairly uncommon. And there is that dog. It's going to push back. I mean, Jazzy has no fear. She is facing this, holding it down with the shorty even. Kara trying to cover her back, but not able to do so. Immediately dropped. Raze trying to swing it through the door, though. That's super nice. It's going to pick up those crucial kills, lock down the spike with the molly.
No fuel. Gun.
Yeah, the spike completely isolated at this point, and
30 seconds
EG,
left.
they play that well. Only a couple rounds to go. We saw the same setup for the defense where Jassy was playing towards B. Gets spotted, still holds and waits for that aggression. There's still a chance here. The operators can connect. Look at how low the EG players are. And still Sholiana finds two.
Claudia, opportunity to clutch again, but doesn't do so. I can't help but feel that that double operator ended up being a full-on mistake there. Certainly a rifle in the hands of Lace could have closed that round out. They give one away to EG that it really feels like they should have captured. This could be a bit of a late-round disaster. This half has been quite back and forth, but EG with an opportunity to actually take a bit of a lead here with COL on this weak bye.
And with the operator for Jassy on that B side playing so up close, it's pretty much just a pinch for EG on that B side that ends up working out for Sholiana. Was 13 HP, and giving that confidence for EG to come back on this game, on this map. Going for the same approach as the A side that we saw before, but they didn't see Raze here.
Oh, you have to be joking. I mean, the judge might still be a little bit too powerful, but Raze gonna deal with those players with absolute ease and tree. And it looks like we're destined for a 6-6 half in what has been an extremely back and forth game. PowerPixel just trying to make something happen off of this one way, but you can see Jazzy is just closing in right now. These players trapped towards A, and EG, they're feeling that pressure, trying to move forward. PowerPixel doomed at this point. Surely Jazzy just biding her time, but gonna get that tap, gonna get that easy kill. Stephanie and Thea in a nigh impossible situation. The spike having to be retrieved. Three players stacked up in tree. There is just no way in hell that this is ever going to happen for Thea, for EG. And it's only right that the half ends at 6-6, right? It's been absolutely down to the wire on each and every round.
Switching sides.
Yeah, it's really a showcase of how close these players and these teams are when it comes to the mind games that the two are able to play. But the 66 that Complexity was able to close that last round still puts quite a lot of pressure onto EG. Again, they lost their own map of Pearl, and now they are maybe close to elimination. Depends on them having that dominant performance, pushing us to that third map that I think we are all expecting to see.
Yeah, but Van Silly did figure out how to put his Ethernet cable back into his PC. So I am going to step out of here and go back to the desk. Van Silly, take it away.
Thank you so much, you handsome man, Wyatt. Well done. So let's get back into this 6-6. Sorry about that, chat. Yeah, it's not only an internet wire. Apparently, I also have maybe problems with my power. If my house burns down and I lose power again, now you know, chat, why I kind of disappeared. But let's get back into the serious action of things. Dandriot, we do have now Complexity and Attack. And when we played this map yesterday here against version 1, they had actually a very strong attack. So having 6-6 on their defense is a great start.
That's one of the points that we were mentioning with Wyatt was it for Complexity with how close it was against version 1. You worry more about EG and their attack inside, the amount of rounds, and are 6 rounds enough? Because Complexity, they have a massive playbook to play on this attack inside. It's still possible for EG to take this win to start off a streak of rounds. It depends so much on the pistol. Maybe it seems like towards that B side.
And even on the other end for EG, they seem to be very comfortable to want to play the retake this time around. I mean, something very standard to do, especially when you have a Raze in your composition. But look at this for the attack on the pulse plan, using a Trailblazer to allow Raze to get more ground control towards the 8 choke. And now they have an opportunity to play the pulse plan from the small door, from Hobbit.
They're dead.
Oh, with the Sheriffs as well connecting to 2v4. EG should get this.
Kinsey, though, trying to fight back.
One enemy remaining.
Only 2 players alive for EG, makes that only 1. Crossfire's too strong, though, as Kara comes in for the last kill. And Complexity take a strong start on defense.
It does get a little bit messy right at the end between the two, the flashes as well. There's gonna be the pistol going for complexity, and again, EG needed and really wanted that pistol, but a complexity that now has a chance to get ahead on their own map pick. And we gotta see if it's gonna be the way it goes. No forces as we got to see on Pearl. Once again, is gonna be a little bit more of the same as that second round that we saw earlier on today. And for complexity, a chance to get ahead. Dying Knight gonna reveal some sort of presence towards that A side, and immediately backing up from this is complexity.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure added at the beginning. You saw the grab well, tried to do some sort of a grab well nade combo here with Kinsey, and even over-rotating the players back into a gamble on the C side. The complexity understanding here that it is a lure buy from EG. There has to be some big brain trap play, over-rotate plays that should happen. Claudia is doing a great job even keeping all players here of EG, the 4 players stuck on the C side by grabbing that orb. Would then give an opportunity here for complexity to work the A side.
4 on that C side, and still though, PowerPixel will get some info, spot some players. It's 2 HP, so has to back up, but at least communicates with the rest of the team, though complexity should take this A side.
Yeah, name of the game is trying to make things expensive overall. Works out. Gonna be expensive for Claudia in the next round. PowerPixel at 2 HP, but waiting for the next flash to come through to maybe allow EG to flood back in here. With a player advantage, rather, there's an opportunity to maybe fight back instead of giving up ult orbs.
Kind of waste as much time as possible.
Exactly. There's snake bites, there's one-way smokes, and now there's that flash available finally, but there's some missed timing for all of EG to try to pinch back and flood back towards the A site. So that all gets nullified, and complexity are in a very good spot now to build their economy. Unless here Thea can do some damage, that's 2 kills overall against complexity, which is not too bad.
There's 2 kills, but it's still the 3 weapons that get to stay for complexity are very good and a chance to win the bonus on this round. You have that 1 rifle that you invest on Jassy that gets to stay alive, that Bulldog and that Guardian, as the rest of the players also go for the investment for complexity. So a buy that is committed to go for this win as Evil Geniuses try to fight this back. And before, it depended on Kinsey on that map number 1, and even on that half, as they started to get a couple rounds, EG was Kinsey and the first kills, a showstopper to open up the site. But those are not available just yet. So for the defense, it's gonna be a little bit more of that information. Heavy Koju util once again now on the A site. And Stephanie playing so far back.
Yeah. Heals coming up too. Complexity on their bonus round. Just really brute forcing their way inside the A site. EG once again looking to play the retake, but it's gonna be difficult now. The space you give up is a space that you take for complexity. As Jasmine drops 2 kills, spots a third, but gets immediately dismantled by PowerPixel. Fake clear, fake check. Kara with 2 kills and a Guardian. She's looking here to potentially pick up the weapon, gets the Phantom on a crossfire. Sholiana eliminates 1 portion of that crossfire, but the delay is still too strong. The Nanoswarm lineups coming out from Claudia, long A. Might secure the round for complexity to win the bonus. Sholiana forced to hold it halfway, and Claudia swings out from the front. Complexity now will put EG back in an eco.
That's why I mentioned the buy for complexity. Even though it was 2 players before getting taken down for that second round, it was still the reinvestment and the rifles that they were able to keep from before more than enough to flood on this side and to hold on to this. Sholiana trying to get that clutch going, but with the time running out and that 1v3 that she needed to isolate, it's just too difficult. So a timeout here for EG. After 3 rounds in a row on this side for complexity. And this is what we expected to see, honestly, for complexity, with how good their map was, their Lotus map was against version 1. You knew how, the understanding that they have to get ahead, and they're doing so in the second half.
Yeah, and as we've mentioned, complexity very strong attacker side against version 1 just before, and EG still trying to find their footing here on defense. So far, it's nice that Complexity haven't really given too much out of their strat book yet on the attack. We haven't really seen the full C hits yet with Jazzikins on a Jet.
Yeah.
So what other new, rework have we done for Complexity on the attacker side that would keep EG guessing? And that's why you have to start cooling down the momentum right away here from the timeout being called by Jovi. Eco round Chico, even for EG, but split across the map.
Toxins going up.
An aggressive towards mount. One player expected, not at all. Kinsey gets away with one. And that's a showstopper too.
Nice little combination here to allow Jazzikins to get those 2 kills. Beautiful flash by Lace. Seeker still available, maybe not even needed. You mentioned that showstopper available for Kinsey, but with the players that they've lost.
Yeah, do you want to commit to this? It's a 3v4, and even the showstopper is not going to make it easy. That rifle actually passes. The showstopper doesn't connect.
Yeah, still going to use it and deny back Jazzikins, who gets floored to the round. Only power pixel remaining. And for a player also that we talked about yesterday for Jazzikins, where she didn't have too much impact on the Jet as IGLing for the team, and it really was the rest of the team stepping up. She's definitely doing it this time around, getting the birthday buff and also allowing Complexity to move up by 4.
Securing those double digits for Complexity, and EG that had the difficult decision, right? They go for aggression towards A, towards Mount, they find a first pick, they have that showstopper, but still the numbers disadvantage and still such a massive risk as the time was running out. Jazzy that secures 4 and gets Complexity closer to moving forward on this lower bracket, but still a chance for EG. And it's gonna depend on this buy, an Odin for Sholiana, everybody else with the rifles, and an operator on the attacking side for Lace, for the Omen. We saw this before in the defense. And brings it again. This is not new for Lays. I mean, I remember when she was playing Sage, all the time she was always holding an operator, always finding the opening picks, and does it for this round too.
Yeah, and even did it yesterday against version 1 in that round 24 to allow Complexity to push this map on Lotus into overtime, even holding late lurks too on an op and still getting value out of it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's difficult to play against Complexity on the attack here when they can work the map with however way that they want.
They have so many different options, so many different players that become active at the perfect scenarios to work out. The turret spots some of the players on that A side. The Seekers come through.
Definitely come through as that opens up the site, but at the same time, Jazzikins is going to be the one getting the assists off those Seekers to get the open round C. So yeah, you get a pick towards the C side, you make some noise towards A. The hit really comes towards the C side, and what do you have left for EG? Time to save.
Yeah, nothing you can do. The 3 players left alive, forced to back up, forced to save those weapons for that next round. And Jazzikins on the C side is just unstoppable for some reason. I mean, we saw it on defense in so many rounds for Jazzy was the only one on C and was always still finding 1, 2 kills, then backing up, waiting for the rest of the team, having that understanding of that balance between the aggression and also not giving away your life. And you see that entry kind of work the same way for the Jet player of Complexity, securing now 11 for the squad.
And you're hoping to get some sort of value out of the timeout that Jovi called here with EG. And that came back to a Laura buy that they couldn't get anything out of it. The buy round that it had nothing going whatsoever at all either. But the good news at least is that we haven't really seen the Odin come out here from Sholiana on the A side. That wasn't really tested by Complexity.
Yeah.
So it depends here if there's going to be any type of wallbang shenanigans or any type of trap plays they're trying to do this time around. Now is a great chance to do it because of those 3 rifles that they saved in round number 17.
And also the chances of the players of Complexity getting caught by these kind of plays if they were to happen into this round, right? Because Complexity does a little bit of the same. They like to have the operator, they like to have the Odin on the attacking side. They really understand how this gameplay works, how this game should work with the weapons that EG has this round. Seekers for Power Pixel are going to be available in a tough spot to be in for EG, needing this round to go their way.
Desperately needing this round. Because again, you save those free rifles, you're buying out. Look at the money here that you have for Kinsey. Look at the money that you have for Power Pixel. This would be another really broken buy in
Or
the next
maybe
round
the last
if you
round.
lose this here.
Yeah.
Time to hunt. Scout.
The engagement comes again. The thing is, at this point, you're going to have to use nanostorms maybe to break that type of utility that the Trailblazer just saw. And even sealing the deal, we have a lockdown being placed here by Claudia.
Forcing the players to back up. We saw this before, though. But defense in the meantime, having to wait around and show Liana. There's the Odin.
Now Complexity knows. They're trying to gain some space. A flash to push through. Good for one. At least the Odin's down for now.
Spike
Plant
planted.
down. Safe in a spot. All three players stuck to play inside the site. Thankfully for Complexity for now, nobody is flanking. All of them will attempt to retake here towards the spawn. It's not even needed. Trying to go for heroic play, trying to catch some players off guard for EG. They went for a double push, and Complexity gets punished by Stephanie. Lace now on a 4 versus 1, being hit, being dropped by Power Pixel, using the Seekers to confirm the round. As EG lived to fight another day.
With the numbers as well, keeping them alive as he saw that 3v4 into the side, the spike gets planted. But this post plan, depending on the operator, gives a call for Complexity to play more aggressive. And Stephanie, it seems like she's been in so many of these scenarios before, which she has to get that multi-kill with the 2, 3, if anything, and she's always getting those, keeping EG on this game for just a little bit longer. And giving that first round of that second half. Now Stephanie is gonna have a lockdown here as well, a Viper's Pit for Show Liana. Those are all massive tools to hold on to these sites for longer. Not used right away, as we saw for Complexity before. Playing for that info, playing a little bit more reactionary, and going for the same play again for Complexity, taking down that turret early on. Trying to keep some of the players on that B side aware of maybe a hit to come through there.
I mean, look at EG. They're playing not to lose. All of them playing back more reactionary and trying to delay the time, trying to delay the clock in. That gives a lot of space for orbs to get picked up here. Kara just picked up the one towards the B side. If she picks up this one here in the plant, that allows for them to get Seekers through. On a pulse plant, even. Wallbangs coming across. Op now being discovered in the hands of Kinsey, missing the op shot right there. Breaking Hop and splitting back towards the B site. Might be the final moments right here for EG. A huge investment this time around with the operator.
Spike planted.
Defender lockdown being used by Stephanie. A moment of hope. EG looking to just hold it back for now while Complexity are aggressing back towards that choke point on the A site. Pit then comes out. Paranoid to slow down. In the pit is Jazikins denied by Stephanie. But then Snakebite then on the ground. Kara falls. Odin trying to find some value. Players are dropping life flies on both ends. A 2 versus 2. One player only available. One player only alive. And she cannot get it done as Complexity are now at map and series point.
Oh, almost done?
Match point and 1 round away from moving forward, going through this lower bracket and staying alive, making it also the farthest this team has made it on Game Changers, as the desk was talking about. This is a match that if you were to tell me it was the upper bracket, I would believe you, because it's teams that we know in Game Changers so well, teams that make it always far but only one able to move forward, and it seems like it could be Complexity taking that last timeout.
Pressure is definitely on here. What can you actually do at this point here, Dendrite? It's EG losing footing against Complexity, who has full control so far of this attack side.
One thing that you mentioned was how EG on this defensive side, they were playing so reactionary, trying to stay alive in this match. And it's something that the teams like EG and like everybody in the scene tier 1, tier 2, whatever it is, everybody talks about making sure that you're playing your own game, right? Not playing not to lose, but playing your own game. And for EG, it seems like we stopped seeing that a couple of rounds ago.
You definitely have a comp for that. I mean, if you want to try to play that aggression, a standard way of grab well in paint shells, getting control on the top, or at least close by towards bubbles. Over on the A side, where exactly where Complexity is looking to work that side at the beginning.
Poison orb emitting.
This time over the walls even deeper, just on the other side of the orb. Maybe try to prevent that from Complexity from gaining advantage of that spot. But already it's early Seekers coming out from Kara. Odin this time from Choliana has an opportunity to wallbang on the way towards the tree side, especially after seeing that Paranoia come through, doing some damage onto Raze down to 61, but gets closed from behind by Jazzikins. This may be all hopes lost. Unless we have heroic plays come out from this player right here, Kinsey. Power Pixel. The teammate falls. The dynamic duel falls down here as we're looking for the flash peek. Beautiful flash out from Kara. Lace gets the kill onto Casey. They only need one more. Stephanie trying to keep it alive here for EG. A 2 versus 1. Spike planted. The jiggle out from Jazzikins. Kara low on HP at 15. Turret now coming out. But that clock is ticking down. Stephanie has to move quick. It's not planted for her. The tap, the backstab, and Complexity has done it as they move forward to the top 4 of the VALORANT Game Changers.
Complexity moves forward in a very dominant fashion from that map 1 all the way to the second map of Lotus. And it seems like for Complexity, it was exactly what the fans wanted to see, what the players as well wanted to see, a dominant performance against one of the best teams to be able to move forward, to stand edge into the top 3, top 2, make it all the way to the finals, as we know that is the final goal. And in Complexity, they understood what the homework was perfectly. They knew it was all so dependent on that Pearl map to go their way to close it on that second.
Yeah, super well done there for Complexity. Unfortunate for EG. And even at the storyline, if you're following like the drama going around Game Changers, there's not going to be any of that EG versus FaZe today because it's the opposite that wins both. But again, birthday buff for Jazzikins, allowing here Complexity to get a nice little victory and move forward, and all that with the amount of entries and impact that Jazzikin was able to get, not only on the IGL side, but in the fragging department. And as you can see here, I'm in a new setting. I'm in jail right now. I'm in casting jail in a different spot. So I'm going to try to break myself free. So Dan Dry, great job today. We're going to toss it back to the desk so they could actually break down this series and get the winner's interview with Verizon.
Thanks for the self-high five, fans. We're back here on the Game Changers analyst desk. Yes, the series ends in favor of Complexity, 13-7 on Lotus. But Wyatt, with this win, this is Complexity's deepest run in Game Changers in their franchise history.
Yeah, both of these teams were fighting for their deepest run ever in Game Changers. Complexity, with that win, get that achievement. So massive props to them. They are one of the teams that has looked to really be leveling up as 2023 has gone on, whether that be from the unique approach that we saw on Pearl to playing Lotus in just excellent fashion with a meta comp. Across the board, you saw great individual play. You could see the talent mechanically that the roster really holds, again, across the board when you're watching Jazzy. I mean, that Jazzy's a known quantity, right? But watching Claudia, watching Lace, like the talent is just sick on that team.
Yeah, it's been really fun to watch Complexity in Game Changers. It's just such a respected organization. I have to get a shout out to, I guess you'd call it the general manager, Ali Lu. Like, Ali's been around, like, she's like the original woman of esports and absolute OG, and just what she's done with this roster, you know, building around Lace after all those years, just super impressive. And I know that team has to be hyped. I know they want more than this. I'm sure they're not satisfied where they are at now, but you know, just the progression has been really great to see from the team.
Yeah, the lower bracket run is real. But Heather, you talked about how clutch Complexity is. They were able to make the plays to turn rounds in their favor when things didn't really start that well.
Yeah, there were some really good moments, some really great takes from the team. Obviously, just great team play from them. I think big props to Kara here. We see it with this flash. This was one of my favorite retakes. I think this put the team up 4-3. They won this after KC got yet another entry. And then I think EG burned 2 ults on that round. But Complexity, that's where they really started to pull away with it.
And I'm looking at these stats, Heather. If I could have any KJ on my team, I would definitely want Claudia. She was just so clutch on so many rounds.
Such a good anchor, right? Like we saw so many strats where EG was actually effectively pulling the defense across the map, yet Claudia still remains in her sight, very versatile with her utility, and won some really nice clutches there. So yeah, I would absolutely take Claudia on my team any day of the week.
But Wyatt, we've been teasing this. The Complexity Shopify Rebellion rematch. Oh my god, this is happening tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it was Complexity getting that unlikely win over Shopify that sent them to the lower bracket for the first time ever in a North American Game Changers, outside of course, losing an upper bracket final. They had never been in a lower bracket position early like this, and that's Complexity's doing. So rematching here against a Shopify that today looked on fire is going to be really exciting. Both of these teams look to be in excellent form. So if there were any questions about where Shopify's form was at in that first match, they should be deaded after what we saw from them today. And I mean, you're talking about great killjoys like Claudia going up against Flowerful. Both of them looked incredible today. 2 really sick teams that look to be in great form.
Yeah, and even KP said in the interview after Shopify Rebellion won today that I was like, oh, who's going to win? EG Complexity. And they were like, don't care, gonna beat them, essentially was the TLDR of that. So the confidence it radiates from Shopify Rebellion, and they'll get the rematch that they wanted. So that'll be taking place tomorrow for everyone at home. Get your popcorn. But before you all head out, please stay tuned, because after these Prime Gaming post-match highlights, I'm gonna snag that birthday girl for the birthday girl interview. So please stay tuned. Hey everyone, welcome back to Game Changers. I'm here with a Verizon post-match interview. Birthday girl had to get some cake. Birthday girl get what she wants. But we got someone else on the mic, someone amazing. Kara from Complexity is joining me today. Hello. Hopefully they save you some cake. Congratulations. So.
Thank you.
Was there like a lot of pressure or nerves coming into this match since it's the lower bracket?
I think not really. I just wanted to play the matches, honestly. Like, these week breaks have been like, I don't know, as a competitor, like, I just want to play the matches, like, just play and get the results that we all want. So not really like too nervous playing these matches.
That's good. I like that you're just like a momentum player. Like that stress drives you. I could never.
Yeah.
Do you think that, well, with all this pressure in the lower bracket, do you think that how well do you think the team performed overall?
I think today, like, we played it really good. Especially, I just want to say MVP to Claudia. She really like stepped up. Yeah, she really stepped up, made like
Yeah.
insane calls mid round, and was really like vocal. And it just really helped the team overall, like get into our groove and beat EG.
Oh yeah, we talked about her on the desk. She was so
Yeah.
clutch.
She was.
Hopefully y'all still got that clutch power tomorrow. I know you want to get through these matches, so you'll have to wait till tomorrow to face
Yeah.
Shopify Rebellion, the big rematch. The analysts were curious about like what were the critical factors in beating Shopify the first time around.
I think like as a team, like we've always been like kind of like under noticed, but I think like our biggest issues like playing GC was like just like getting into the groove of like competing and like just like playing the same thing we do in scrims. Like, so I don't think like I'm not gonna lie, I blanked out. What was the question? Sorry.
Oh, just like the factors that you beat Shopify Rebellion the first time. Like, what were the key things that happened there?
Just having like a clear mind, and we just all wanted to like dial in and just honestly just show like what we've been working on together as a team.
Yeah, and I mean, your first answer was exactly that, you know, using what you learned in scrims and being comfortable in scrims and bringing that to the real match. And you showed just how confident, how comfortable, how amazing you all are against Shopify Rebellion. But they seem pretty confident too. So I'm excited for that match. I know everyone at home is going to be tuning in. But do you have any shout outs to make? Because sounds like Jazzy's going to have a good birthday after all.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go to a restaurant, have a nice dinner, celebrate Jazzy's birthday, and hopefully win tomorrow.
Yeah, wait some more. You put like a question mark there, but we'll make it a period.
Yeah,
Oh, is she
birthday,
there?
big night team. Woo!
The balloons! Everyone say happy birthday to Jazzy right now. Okay, she's gone. Too late. Thank you so much for the interview, Kara. Enjoy dinner and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, everyone, that was Kara from Complexity, who did just take a W against EG. And, you know, birthday girl buff a bit for Jazzy. They're going to go celebrate some dinner, and we'll see if they still have stuff to celebrate tomorrow, because the big rematch versus Shopify Rebellion is happening tomorrow. You'll want to tune in for that, but don't go anywhere, because after this break... Oh, wait, no, do I bring analysts in? Yes, I bring my analysts in, because I don't want to throw y'all to a break. Give me Sapphire, give me Wyatt. Hi. I almost sent y'all for your early snack break. It's nice to see that we can celebrate birthday. I think that dinner was planned no matter what, Sapphire. You know, you have to go to dinner after a match like that.
Yeah, of course. You got to celebrate big W's. You know, get in the good vibes. You know, for tomorrow, big game tomorrow for them.
Yeah, Wyatt, I mean, both teams sound extremely confident. Sounds like Complexity, from what they said in the interview, are just going to stick to their game, while as Shopify Rebellion are going to stick to their game despite losing, but are confident they're going to execute it better.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm just excited to see if there's going to be a team that can finally break the top two gridlock of the Game Changer scene that we've had for so long now, and actually, you know, maybe usher in a bit of a new era with all these excellent players that have been slowly rising up to the top. You know, maybe push Shopify or V1 to the side, get them in third place for what would be, I believe, the first time, right?
Yeah, it's a deep run for a lot of these teams, and some upsets, and it's heartbreaking to say goodbye to the talent that we have, but it's just been exciting so far. And speaking of Kara, Wyatt, guess who's featured in our AIM Lab flick of the day?
I would guess Kara, right?
Yeah.
I would take
show y'all how she popped. You answered correctly.
I'm glad I didn't mess that one up. That would have been pretty embarrassing. Yeah, that was a sick clutch, but also just, listen, I'm a sucker for some beautiful taps in this game, and Kara was giving them consistently throughout both maps, but that clutch... perfection. The little flick onto the jet, the one tap. Oh my god, you love to see it.
And Heather, what are your thoughts on how the Shopify Complexity, you know, let's disregard the cool flick by Kara here for a second. How do you think the rematch is going to go tomorrow?
Well, you know, KP told us that they don't lose that. They're not going to lose it. I think we're going to see a better Shopify tomorrow. We saw an absolute dominant Shopify earlier today, and they're going to push COL complexity to the limits. I think this is going to be a much closer match than it was the first time around. Complexity should be obviously studying up. I think when you're on the losing end of a rematch, you kind of automatically are favorite in the second one, because I think you'll learn a little more when you lose. So who knows? It's going to be interesting, but we are so used to seeing Shopify in the grand finals, and I would say that's still kind of the favorite despite the first result yesterday.
And who knows who's going to be in the grand finals, because version 1 DSG is just this big question mark for me. I know version 1 is just this powerhouse, this super team, but then DSG are also upsetting people left and right. So everyone will want to stay tuned for tomorrow, the continuation of Game Changers playoffs. We have our top 4 ready to go. Please come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, for our lower bracket semifinal, then our upper bracket, you know the stuff. Please follow the channel, go and follow our socials to catch the cool clips of today in case you missed it. Shout out to all the talent who got featured today. Even Wyatt got to be on the mic today. So thank you, Wyatt. Great job today.
They better be upping my pay. That's all I'm saying. That's crazy. If I'm casting and analyzing, that's nuts.
We'll work this in. Thank you all for watching. See you tomorrow.
Seconds left. One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.
Watch you find it. Piss off. My ult's ready.
One enemy remaining. One enemy remaining.